Okay, guys, it's me again, talking about the lifeline for married couples. I want to tell you a short story, two short stories, that we're going to learn very important things out of them. The first story is that there was once a person who decided that the goal of life is to serve God with all his might, to serve the Creator, to do everything for Him. Already when he was young, he was a teenager, he decided, I'm going to seclude myself in a certain bit knesset, in a certain shul. I'm going to put myself away, sit and learn the Torah all day, and I'll drink just water, and I'll eat a piece of bread a day, and I'll just keep the Torah and the mitzvahs, and I'll try to get close to Hashem through that. And that's what he has done. He found a small shul in a little town, and he asked the gabbai, could I sit here? Could I be here? I'm not going to bother anyone. The gabbai said, yes, if you don't bother the people who are praying here, you could stay there. And he stayed, and for years and years, he was just eating a little bit of food that people used to have mercy on him and give him, drinking water from the faucet, sleeping on a hard bench, and just learning Torah all day. And he lived like that, and one day the gabbai comes in the morning, and he finds this guy. He was already a very old man. He was dead, as people die at the end of their life. He finished his life. And of course, the announcement went around the city, the levaya of so-and-so's name, let's call him Yosaleh, of the Rav, a Goyen, a Tzaddik, the holy, the righteous person, Yosel, will go out at a certain hour, and everything like that, and they give him a lot of respect, and everyone buried him with great honor. But when he reached heaven, when his soul went up, the body went to the ground. When the soul went up to heaven, immediately he got grabbed by all the bad angels. And he didn't understand why they acted to him so nasty. And he goes up there and he sees the faces of his forefathers, his parents, his grandparents, and other relatives of his, and his rabbis, all standing there with their face down, looking at him with such a shame, so embarrassed by him. He didn't understand why. What did I do wrong? I was perfect in this world. What did I do wrong? And then the judgment began. The trial began, and they're testing his days, and they're telling him, you know what, Yosel, you know it, and they didn't call him a Rav, and nothing like that, and they just tell him, you know what, all the mitzvahs you've done, all the things that between you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, between you and the Creator, you did perfect. You kept all the mitzvahs, you slept in the sukkah, and you ate matzah on Pesach, and all those good things you've done. But with anything regarding between you and the people around you, you had done nothing. For example, if you would have been married, you had a job to make this woman happy. And you would have seen that you're very far away from happiness, because in order to make someone else happy, you yourself have to be happy. Same thing with trusting Hashem. If you thought you had any trust in Hashem, if you would have been married and you had to bring the rent at the end of the month, and you had to pay the bills and bring food, you would have seen you're so far away from that. Same thing regarding patience. If you thought you're so patient, you're so kind, if you would have been married, you had a bunch of kids jumping around you, and your wife, and this and that, and you think you have patience, you would have acted. This is then they show him a video of how he would have acted without him working on himself. Bottom line is, they tell him, we're very sorry to tell you that you were very nice down there, but you did not reach the purpose why you went down to this world. That's one story. It's an imaginary story, but it's a true story about many people. The second story is a different guy. He was very successful. He went to yeshivas, very good yeshivas, very famous family, and he had a lot of money. This family had a lot of money, and at the time, the time came, he was 18, he was 20, whatever, he got married to a very, very respectful family, and of course his father-in-law gave him a nice amount of money to start with, and a house and everything, and he also knew a lot of Torah, and he was teaching his Torah and everything, and he was doing a lot of chesed with other people and charity, and helping, opening organizations, and making sure there's shiurim, and his life was mamash a great success, and he had children and everything. He only had one small, teeny problem in his life, in his beautiful life, which he tried not to pay too much attention to that. That problem was called his wife. From all the people in the world, his wife did not respect him at all. And every time he came home, she was yelling at him, "You're helping the whole world but me. You care for so many people, but what about me? What about your children? What about the house?" But he always made sure, he said, "Listen, she's a woman, she has her problems." And he always made sure she has enough money in the bank account and she had the credit card and she could do whatever she wants, so she has no complaints about that. But anyways, every time he came home, he got whacked over his head hard. So he made sure not to be home too much. And she filled up pillows of tears. But that's the husband she got. Also, his day came one day. His last day came. And he also died. And of course, the announcement went around the city. The Rav Agoya, Natzadik, the genius, the righteous, the holy, whatever his name was, Yankel, had died. And everyone came to the big levaya. And they made a whole thing. And they made a lot of... eulogies over him, and everyone was speaking about it and everything. But him, immediately when his body his neshama, his soul, and he thought so, by the way, and the Levaya, he was thinking, so many people came to honor him, must be I'm a big righteous person. And when his soul went up to heaven, immediately the bad angels grabbed him, and he didn't understand what's going on here. And immediately they grabbed him, they brought him in front of the court. And they told him, "Rasha, you're an evil man. What? Oh, look at all the tears that your wife have poured when you weren't home. Look at all the sorrow you taught people how to have shalom bayis, how to have peace in the house. You taught grooms before they get married how to keep the peace in the house. Look, we'll show you just a few videos of what you have done." And they started showing him. Listen, he gave this one a bad advice because you couldn't keep that advice in your house, right? Stuff from your own home. Make sure not to be too much at home because she's gonna harass you. She's gonna this, and you destroyed that house and the other person's house and this person's house. And besides, right, your own wife, you did chesed, you did kindness with the whole world, but your own house. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. You came down to this world, but you came back with the wrong conclusions, with the wrong goal. You did not reach the right place where you had to reach. Also an imaginary story, which happens to many people, probably more than the first story. What we have to learn from that story, that we came to this world to fix who we are, to fix ourselves, to become better people. And the place where the most that comes out, fixing yourself and becoming a better person, is in your own house, with your own wife, with your own children. That's the place where a person fixes himself. The same thing with a woman. Mainly for a man I'm talking. That's the reason why we're here in this world. Many people don't know how to do that. A lot of times we're not sure. The first thing is that we have to know that we have that goal. I want to be a better person. Everyone wants to be a better person. Everyone wants to better himself. People do not want to stay in the same low level. People do not want to stay in the same form they were born into this world. People want to grow. We want to be better people. We want to be exalted people. We want to be people who are working on ourselves and becoming better and better, becoming better human beings, better behavior in this world between other people, between us and our wives, us and our children, ourselves and people around us, people at work, people all kinds of places. But it all starts at home. It all starts the way we act at home, the way we treat our wife, the way we treat our children. That's where it all begins. So you should know you're not there alone. And if you're having difficulties, and it's not so easy, and it's understandable. You have to learn, you have to study, you have to know how. It's not an embarrassing thing. All you need to do is reach for help. Reach for help. And there's people there, just like a person who's going to buy a house. He has no idea how to buy it. He'd go to consultants, he goes to people that know about it, how do you take a mortgage from the bank, and what's the best thing to do. It's not an embarrassing thing. So to a marriage, and a lot more in marriage, if regarding a few dollars you care for, going for consulting and everything, regarding your own life, the reason why you're here in this world, you're not going to go and consult, you're not going to go and figure it out. So please, 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 do yourself a favor, do your soul a favor. If you need the help, And you need the help. Many times we need the help. Look deep inside. You need the guidance. Why not? Why not to expand what you're seeing, open up, open to new things that you haven't seen yet. So please contact us, and we'll be delighted to help you, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you.